We open Season 8 of SDRL at the legendary Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace in Interlagos, a circuit rich in history, known for its elevation changes, iconic corners and unpredictable weather. Working from the top, left to right. McLaren field both of their regulars, Ferrari bring in Rolly as a reserve for Nick. Red Bull and Mercedes both start with full-strength lineups. Aston Martin are missing Barbans with no replacement. Alpine and Haas run both entries. Kai and Xbox step in for VCarb. Williams and Sauber both start with two cars, with Smith filling in for Shorey at Sauber. Early pace came from Berkey, setting a strong low 1:07 that looked hard to beat. With 5 minutes to go, Smith shaved a tenth off that benchmark, briefly holding provisional pole. Then the late drama arrived. Alex found a single thousandth to edge Smith. But the final word came from Takubi, the only driver to dip into the 1-minute sixes, sealing pole by 200ths. Front row Takubi P1 and Alex P2. Row 2 Smith and Max. Row 3 Berkey and Mars. Row 4 Orax and Shan. Row 5 Lay and Sert. Notably, all start on mediums except Rolly, who gambles with hards for a long opening stint. Lights out and Alex gets the better launch, sweeping past Takubi through the centre S. Takubi responded on the run to turn 4, nosing ahead on the inside, and the two ran wheel to wheel all the way to turn 9. By then Takubi had inched clear, Alex settling into P2 with the bigger picture in mind. Lap 1 ended cleanly. Takubi led Alex with Smith in P3, while Orax made early gains, climbing from P7 to P4. By lap 3, Shan was on the charge, muscling past Max into P7 at the start of Sector 3. Lap 8 saw strategy ripple through the field and the race, as Orax pitted early for hards, releasing Smith from DRS and exposing him to pressure. Mars immediately sees P3 at turn 4. Alex pitted on lap 10 but picked up a speeding penalty, a costly blow to his podium hopes. Coming into lap 13, Orax had the net lead, but he also had tyres 2 to 3 laps older than everyone behind him. His problem not so much Alex and Max Bean, both carrying pit penalties, but Takubi P7, Mars P8, Smith P9 and Berkey P10 were all working their way back up the grid on their new hards. Orax managed to pass Sert, still on his race start mediums, and took the race lead when Lay and Shan both pitted. By lap 15, Takubi was back in P2, 4 seconds behind Orax, who was leading but running older tyres. Orax soon pitted for fresh hards, rejoining with the advantage of tyre life for the second phase of the race. Further back, Alex, Max and Bradders fought a furious battle for the P10 point. The clash boiled over at turn 1 on lap 22, when Alex and Bradders tangled, both spinning into the barriers and retiring.
Down towards turn 4, F1 Alex looks to the outside, contact made there into the wall, that's a big...
Orax's relentless pace carried him into podium contention. Lap 23 he moved into P4, then P3 1 lap later. Orax would take the lead as Takubi and Mars both pitted for new hards on lap 25. It would be a dice roll on his tyres holding out and keeping in front of Takubi and Mars. By lap 29, Takubi cut through Berkey for P2 and began hunting his teammate Orax. Lap 32, the inevitable came, Takubi taking the lead as Orax's 16-lap-old hards began to fade. Berkey stopped for new mediums on lap 31 and wasted no time putting them to good use, taking P7 from Sert. Lap 34, Shan took advantage of his mediums to pass Smith into P3. And then disaster struck for Orax when his hards finally gave way. A brave strategy ultimately undone with 2 laps left. Lap 35 produced a dramatic scrap. Lay took P5 from Berkey through the centre S, only for Berkey to fight back down the straight, despite damage to his front wing, eventually breaking clear. A strong race for Takubi saw him take a 4-second delta into the last lap. The consistent Mars in P2 and Shan 10 seconds further back in P3. Lay in P6 pushed her hards to a final and 22nd lap. Sert in P7 on 21-lap-old hards, and Max P8 on 20-lap-old tyres. Shan and Smith battled hard for the podium. Takubi took the flag with a dominant performance. Mars comfortably in P2. Smith held on for P3 on track, but his penalty would promote the always contending Shan to P3 and the podium. Smith would take P4. Berkey earned a well-earned 5th. Lay in P6 took her ancient tyres to the end. Sert fought off Max to hold on to his tyres too, and P7, just ahead of a dogged P8 for Max. Xbox took P9, and Rolly rounding out the points. Epaake, Rando and Kai rounded out the finishes. In the Drivers' Championship, Takubi looks dangerous, with Mars always pushing and Shan, Smith and Berkey looking to find that extra edge to make a challenge this season. McLaren, Aston Martin and Alpine all show early signs of being in the hunt for top rewards. With only one round complete, the battle for team glory remains wide open. Next up, Barcelona, a track under threat of dropping from the calendar, and perhaps one of the last chances to see SDRL tackle it.